In 1884, a young black school teacher bought a first-class train ticket. When the conductor tried to drag her out of her seat, she bit his hand, braced against the seat, and refused to move. Then she did something almost no black woman in the South was supposed to be able to do. She sued the railroad, and she won. Her name was Ida B. Wells, and that was only the beginning. We remember Rosa Parks. We should. But 71 years before Montgomery, Ida B. Wells was thrown off a train for the same reason and took the company to court. History almost lost her anyway. She was written out of the founding story of the organization she helped build. Her printing press was destroyed. A mob promised to kill her if she ever came home. This is the story of how one woman fought the deadliest terror of her time, not with a gun, but with a notebook, a pen, and the truth she refused to let them bury. Sources are in the description. Stay to the end. Ida Bell Wells was born on July 16, 1862, on a Mississippi farm near Holly Springs. Born enslaved, 6 months before the Emancipation Proclamation would even reach her. Her father, James, was a skilled carpenter, her mother, Lizzie, a cook. After freedom came, they believed in exactly one thing as fiercely as they believed in God: education. Ida learned to read early at her mother's side. Then, in 1878, the world collapsed. Yellow fever swept through the South and took both of her parents and her baby brother in a matter of days. Ida was 16. Relatives wanted to split the children up. Ida said no. She lengthened her skirts to look older, passed a teacher's exam, and took a country schoolhouse job to keep her 5 younger siblings together. Before she was ever a journalist, she was already a girl refusing the fate other people had chosen for her. She moved to Memphis for better teaching work, and in 1883, a conductor ordered her out of the first-class ladies' car and into the smoking car because she was black. She had paid for that seat. She refused. It took several men to physically drag her off the train, and the white passengers stood and applauded. Most people would have gone home and swallowed it. Ida hired a lawyer and sued. In December 1884, a court awarded her $500. 3 years later, the Tennessee Supreme Court took it all back, but something had been lit. Ida started writing, under the pen name Iola, about what it actually felt like to be black in the New South. She bought into a black newspaper, the Memphis Free Speech, and became its editor. She had found the weapon she'd use for the rest of her life. On March 9, 1892, 3 black men were lynched in Memphis. One of them, Thomas Moss, was Ida's close friend, the godfather of her first child. Their crime was that their store, the People's Grocery, was successful and had pulled customers away from a white-owned store nearby. They were dragged from a jail cell and murdered. That changed everything Ida believed. She had assumed lynching punished real crimes. Now she knew better. So she investigated. She traveled to the sites. She collected the names, the dates, the newspaper's own words, and she published the numbers. In Southern Horrors and the Red Record, she laid out lynching as data, hundreds of killings, and in case after case, no crime at all. She proved with evidence that the excuse was a lie. This was investigative data journalism decades before the term existed. Memphis answered the way mobs answer. While she was traveling, a white crowd destroyed the free speech offices and warned that if Ida B. Wells ever set foot in Memphis again, she would be hanged. She was 30, and she could never safely go home. So she took the fight everywhere else, across the North and twice across the ocean to Britain, shaming American lynching before the world. In 1909, she stood among the founders of the NAACP and was then quietly left off its official list of founders. She kept marching anyway. In 1913, she refused to be pushed to the back of a Washington suffrage parade. She died in Chicago in 1931. For decades, her name was a footnote, but the receipts survived. In 2020, 90 years later, the Pulitzer Board gave Ida B. Wells a special citation for her reporting on lynching. The woman they tried to erase now has a Pulitzer and a monument. The truth, written down and refused to be burned, outlasts the people who tried to destroy it. Sources in the description. Subscribe so they can't erase this. Free reading list, link below.